I've got Toby on the line. Good morning, Toby.
Good morning, Sheena.
Hi, it's great. Thanks so much for agreeing to speak to us this morning on radio, Toby. It's
No problem.
fantastic. Now, from what people have been hearing earlier on, you were that person who had an addiction with drugs. Can you just tell us a bit about what it was like?
Yeah. Well, basically, I just started off young, going to pubs, having a couple of pints, then going into clubs. Started with recreational drugs like ecstasy, bit of speed, and then cocaine. It seemed like in the pubs it was going hand in hand, like a pint and a bag of cocaine. It was just a normal thing to do. But it did get hold of me, and after a while the cocaine wasn't doing much, so I went on to crack cocaine. I believe alcohol started that off. I believe if I wasn't drinking so much, I don't think I would have gone on to crack cocaine. And before I knew it, I was really, really bad, caught up in addiction. And I tried my hardest, and I actually thought that as soon as I find the right woman and have children, that'll be enough for me to stop. But it wasn't. It was just had a hold on me, and I just couldn't stop it on my own.
Did you have a job at this time?
Yeah, I thought I'd just get my own business. I thought all I need is money, missus and kids, and I'm sorted. But I was all right for a few months, but I started building up my business, but then I started chasing money, so one addiction went on to the other. And before I knew it, it caught up on me. Like, I was working 7 days a week, like 12 hours a day, just chasing money and not having time for my family because I had to keep busy so I wouldn't focus on my other addictions kind of thing. And in the end, I just hit a brick wall. And then everything I saved up in 5 years, I blew probably in 9 months going back onto crack cocaine. I actually went onto a circular rehab in 2006. I was all right for a bit. That's when I got my business up and running. But basically, I still had that void. I still had that piece missing.
What about your missus? How did she sort of react?
Oh, she's had to phone the police a few times, get court orders, and yeah, she's been amazing actually. I'm surprised she stuck with me. She's been absolutely a diamond.
So Toby, tell me how you found out about Teen Challenge.
I actually didn't, even though I know now about Teen Challenge, but before I knew nothing about them, and I was seeing doctors, psychiatrists, EDAS. I was seeing all what the government offer, and I've done them all, but nothing was, even the meetings, AA meetings, CA, NA, and nothing for me was just doing it. It was basically, it was like, I don't know, I just struggled, and basically I got refused rehab again, and I was like that. I was like really, really lost, and then the lady at Pact in Poole, she actually knew me from a while back, and she said, I tell you what, Google Teen Challenge. And I wasn't going to do it because I thought it was for teenagers.
Yeah, it's I know.
Yeah, so I Googled it, and I filled out the application form online, and within a few weeks, I was in there.
So you'd been in rehabs before, so what was your expectation of Teen Challenge? What did you think that was going to be like?
Do you know what? I knew, I Googled it, and all the information was there, and it was go to church, and I wasn't a believer. I just wanted to get in there because I was going to die. I was suicidal. I tried to take my life. I just needed to do anything, and if I went in there for a free rehab, not to find God, but yeah, I found God in there.
So where were you based? Was it London or Nottingham?
No, I went Nottingham because I wanted to be far as possible away from Bournemouth.
Yep.
Because if I would have had a bad day in London, I believe that I could have just jumped on a train back to Bournemouth. So Nottingham is where I stayed for 10 months.
So that's quite a long time. So when you got there, you were thinking, oh, I'm going away for 10 months. But in some ways, were you thinking, when I go away, this is going to change my life?
Do you know what? I think it's like I was down to I was at the end of the road, and I actually cried out, God, if you're real, help me out. And that's when doors started open for me then, because the circular rehab funding, that shut, closed, that door closed, and then Teen Challenge door open kind of thing, and then everything just I felt being led, and I the feel was, I don't know, I felt like led to go in there. Do you know what I mean? Like there was no, I knew I had to do it, and there was no thinking about it. I didn't even think about it. I just knew I had to get in there.
So were you still with your children and your wife at this point?
Yeah, I was actually I wasn't actually living with them. I was all over the place on sofas, and sleeping in the car, still doing drugs in some crazy places. I was actually 10 stone. Looked like I was living on the streets, basically. But I was still with Kim. But I think she was more worried about me than a partner.
We're going to have a piece of music, and then we're going to come back and talk just what happened when you went to Teen Challenge, Toby, and how your life has been turned around. So don't go away. We'll be back just in a minute.
Okay.
We got some more music this time from CeCe Winans. Yeah, she's been around such a long time. And do you know she's won over the years 8 Grammy Awards plus other awards. Very, very popular in America, and she's got a great voice. This is from the best of CeCe Winans, For Always, and the track I'm going to play is More Than What I Wanted.
I wasn't looking. All the colors were gray. It's hard to notice when you're out in the rain. All of a sudden, the colors are starting to change. You brought the light. Now the darkness.
The CD is entitled For Always. The track is, the best of CeCe Winans, and the track was More Than What I Wanted. You're listening to 90.1 Hope FM.
It's great to have your company. We've been concentrating on Teen Challenge this morning, and just before that last piece of music, I was talking to Toby. Toby is someone who's been on the Teen Challenge programme. He went in desperation, would that be right to say, Toby? You tried lots of things, nothing seemed to work. You suddenly found out about Teen Challenge and you thought, yep, I'm going to give that a go. That which involved you going away to Nottingham, committing to be away for 10 months. Kim and your children, but by this time you weren't living with them anymore, although they were still kind of supporting you from a distance. Would that be true to say as well?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely. I was too caught up in just bad stuff to be involved in the family home.
Yeah. So off you go to Teen Challenge, off you go to Nottingham. You're committed to this 10-month programme. So just walk me through what it was like when you got there, and what people were like, and how you found out what you had to do.
Yeah, when I got there, as soon as I walked through the gates, that's it. I've been smoking for 20 years, tried to give up for like 15 years. I think the longest I went was 3 days, but I went into Teen Challenge with 2 months' worth of Nicorette patches, and I've gone through the doors. Soon as he got searched, soon as Pastor Sammy said, "Look, have you got children?" I just burst out crying because I knew I wasn't going to see him for a long time. And then they took my patches off me, and they said, "You can't have them now." And then I kicked up a bit of a fuss, saying, "I need them. I need my patches." And there was another lad there called Matthew, and he said, "Don't worry, we'll pray for you later." And I was just like, "Pray for me? Are you serious? Do you know what I mean? The last thing I need is a prayer. I need a fag." And later on, they actually prayed for me, and it was only, I think 2 weeks later, someone else come through the door exactly the same as me. "I need a cigarette," and it was only then that I remembered that I used to smoke, and I'm like, no way. We're eating breakfast, and I'm looking at everyone going, I don't smoke. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? Absolutely amazed, and I just thought, wow, this is amazing, this place. And then we got chapel every morning. The blokes are absolutely lovely. There's no do you know what I mean? It's not like anyone acting hard, and everyone's friendly. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's in the same boat. Absolute brilliant place.
How many people were on the course at the same time as you?
Around about 30 people.
All right,
in
wow.
addiction. Yeah, through. And some were in there for cannabis, some were in there for cocaine, some in there for pills. It's all addictions, but I actually do think it's it's 10 months, a long time, but that's a season out. I think every person needs it, because you find God in this place. It's God's ministry. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely amazing. And the encounters I've had since the smoking, you have a chapel every morning at 10 o'clock, and the pastor or anyone who comes to share says, if anyone wants prayer, come forward now. And after the first time, I was like always up. I was a bit greedy with me prayers. But I've had encounters. I used to see on telly, and I used to see people falling down in the spirit or shaking, and I thought that was crazy. It was just didn't get it. But people are falling down in the spirit. My arms and legs would shake. Something really inside, stomach spasms, crying, like just being set free. It's like everything that I've tried to act hard over the years, or tried to bury, do you know what I mean, hide, like all the bad things that have happened to me, like just to try and bury it and forget it. It's like that all releases, and it's just like so pure, like the love, do you know what I mean? It's just amazing. I'll get emotional in a minute.
No, it's great, Toby, just for you to share that, because, you know, that's what Jesus does. He comes and he totally sets us free and gives us a new life. So how many months were you kind of there before you really had this encounter with Jesus?
I actually, in my first 2 weeks there, because I was open and I tried everything for over 15, 20 years. I tried absolutely everything. And then for me to think all I need is my own business, money, a BMW convertible, do you know what I mean, children, that's all I need, my life sorted. But then to get everything I ever wanted and then realise, wow, this ain't it, I was like open to God, because that was the only thing that I was missing. And then, within 2 weeks, well, with the cigarettes, but having encounters with... there was about 30 lads all in a row. There was a man called Dennis, the Holy Spirit man, came in. Everyone was chatting about him. And I wanted to know more. I'm like that. Anyway, who wants to come up for prayer? So we all got up, all in a row, and I had my eyes shut. I had one eye open, actually, because I was seeing what was going on. And people were falling down, and people were getting caught, and like people on the floor sobbing. And I thought, this is crazy. I thought, this isn't right. I'm not going down there. There's no way I'm going down on the floor. You know what I mean? I was a bit embarrassed for one. But he didn't even get to touch me. He just walked close to me, and my right arm started to shake. My legs started going, and I just burst out crying. And it was like someone dipped me in a swimming pool, just a sweat. It was like, I don't know if it was all the bad stuff coming out or what. I really don't know. But supernaturally, it was like something just... It's like the devil just let go of me or something. I don't know. Now I'm more spiritual. I'm getting to learn. But it was like something just released off me, and it was absolutely amazing.
Now, I don't know what you were allowed to do and what you weren't allowed to do, but could you keep in contact with, like, Kim and your family? Did you do letters or texting?
Yeah, letters. I couldn't keep up with Kim letters. She was sending about 10 a week. she realised how much, do you know what I mean? She missed me, and it was good, like God restores everything, do you know what I mean? So it was absolutely amazing, the letters. But what was good was the Skype. I've got two young children, so Skype. But after, I'm not sure, after a few weeks, they could drive. Bless her, she'd only just started driving, and she drove all the way to 3.5 hour drive to Nottingham with the kids. So how did she react? Was she quite surprised? Did she think, it's just something that, you'll in a few months' time you'll have forgotten all about this? Do you know what? She's seen a massive difference. I really don't know, She's not a believer. God's still working on her. I can't really answer that. I'm not sure.
But she obviously, did she kind of say things like, Toby, what's happened since you come up here? You're different, or anything like that?
I'm distant, sorry?
Did she used to say things like, what's happened to you since you come up here? You're a bit different.
Oh, no. I'm nice. I'm nicer. It's not like, because I thought, when going into Teen Challenge, I thought these are going to be raving lunatics, Bible bashers, do you know what I mean? But I knew that I had to get well, so I was going to put up with that. But then I've just met people in there, and do you know what? They're funny guys. That they are absolutely, no disrespect to anyone else, but that's how people should be. Do you know, the morals, the love, the kindness, absolutely blew me away. Just the love in the place. the Christian Fellowship, and yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And Kim, she has come to church with me, so I think slowly but surely she's doing the right, coming the right way. You know what I mean? Knowing the truth.
Toby, it's brilliant to talk to you and just hear you sharing the difference that Jesus obviously has really, really made in your life. So you completed the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, I mean, did each? How does that work out? Was each phase a bit more difficult than the one before, or just different?
Do you know what? It's I think it's just great. All of it's good, because if you couldn't do phase 2 without phase 1. It's all there for a reason, and do you know what? It's how they've got everything in place. It makes sense, even though I had a bit of an attitude when I went through the door, and I couldn't come. Do you know what I mean? It was pretty strict. It's discipline, basically. Something what I haven't had. I grew up without a father, so basically it was just discipline, and I had to be broken a bit more to be built. Do you know what I mean? For it to work. So everything's there. Phase 3 was probably the hardest, because you get more discipline. Basically, they expect more from you, but it's all good, because if it was too easy, it wouldn't have worked.
So you're now in what's called phase 4, which means you've actually come back home. You're with Kim, you're with your children, but you're still getting that help and support. And then finally, what happens in September?
Our graduation, yeah. All the lads go up to Nottingham, which is a massive. I can't remember the church now. I should do. I've been there twice. For graduation, see the other lads graduate. But yeah, there's a massive church in Nottingham, and yeah, they all graduate, and it's great to see the lads doing so well there. Yeah.
So life is very, very different for you from what it was 10 months ago. If there's anybody listening in this morning, Toby, and perhaps they're struggling, perhaps they've got a problem with addiction and they're not really too sure what to do, what would your message be to them this morning?
I would say, if you're struggling with addiction and you're going to the meetings, I suggest that you've got the Serenity Prayer at the meeting. I think just do more prayer. But to be set free from your addictions, Teen Challenge is definitely, it's 10 months out of your life for the rest of your life, and it's absolutely amazing. And you see, like, you know, it sounds corny to some, but when the veil lifts, it sounds corny, but it truly, truly does. And then when you realise that Jesus is all you want, do you know, not have to chase the money anymore or anything. It's just absolutely amazing. I just feel complete. Even though I've got nothing, hardly, I feel complete, and I don't, do you know what I mean? It's just absolutely, I'm quite happy just going fishing.
And just knowing that God is with you, that Jesus is with you, no matter what you're doing, you just now are aware of his presence with you.
Yeah, definitely. And do you know what? I'm absolutely nothing without him. Do you know, if I imagine life without him now, do you know what? It feels like a black hole. It feels absolutely awful. And I've got so much faith and hope, and it's absolutely, absolutely amazing. And you know, I'm teaching my kids. I can teach my kids now. Do you know what I mean? That they need Jesus, because I, in a way, what I went through for 15, 20 years, I can now change other people's lives through that. So I don't. Do you know what I mean? I've got no regrets.
Toby, it's been really, really good for you to take time out to talk to us this morning. And we don't know who's listening in, but I'm sure there'll be some people that have been really touched by what you've shared. And it's just
it's quite easy to do the Teen Challenge. Google Teen Challenge, and you've got an online application form. But yeah, just give them a call if not, and they'll send you an application form if you can't get hold of a printer.
Brilliant. Toby, thanks again, and God bless. And I look forward to speaking to you maybe closer to September, and you can be telling us how it all went at your graduation. So again, thanks very much for sharing, and happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Thank you, Sheena. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Hope